Hello, I'm David Ward, the Media Director here at First Baptist Lakeside. Thank you for watching our brief instructional video. To show the basic functions of using the sound cabinet in the FLC. You can see that there's a locking door on this cabinet, and it should always be locked and secured when not in use. There's one power switch to turn everything on. It's necessary to have the power on for the HDMI network to send to the televisions. There is no user serviceable equipment inside, meaning back in the back where things are mounted on the walls. I'm going to show you there's this one thing, the ABC switch on the left. There is a remote for it, but remotes can be troublesome, so we're just going to use it manually. This ABC switch will always be in the A mode, or input 1 is how it's labeled here. Input 1 is lit, got a blue light on it, when using the local HDMI cable on this rolled out tray. Input 2, if we switch to it, and the selector button is right there. It's right near that red light. There's your selector button. And if nothing is live and sending a signal, it won't switch. But once things are plugged in and sending signals to it, the lights will move to which input is correct. But that's the selector button. That's really the only thing on there you should have to adjust. And the blue light would move down to 2 or 3. Now, input 2 is this box here, which is our closed circuit television channel selector. This will give us the ability to either run the announcements on these televisions or to show the simulcast of the late morning services. And that has to be tuned to the right TV channels, which are listed on the instruction card inside the door of the cabinet. The only thing here would be switching between those two closed circuit TV channels. The only thing you'd have to do with that. This next box over to the right of that is the audio mixer, and I'm going to do a separate video on controlling audio with it. So to kind of cover the whole cabinet here, I want to look at a couple of things. This device up here at the top is the receiver for the wireless microphone that's used in the Sunday school class, either the lavalier mic used by a Sunday school teacher or the handheld mic that may be used by a worship leader or singer, for instance on Sunday evenings in the summer. That's what that receiver is for. Here on the right of that is the invisible receiver that's not installed yet, that will be dedicated for the pastor's channel only, and that will be microphone 2. Alright, this is channel 1, it's labeled. Channel 2 receiver will look a little different, similar, and be located there for the pastor's channel only. One important thing related to these two wireless microphones is that you should always make sure that those channels are completely turned down or muted, except when the microphones are turned on and transmitting. If you don't, this system is particularly inclined to pick up static interference that will be amplified through the system and create a lot of distress. So once again, make sure channels 1 and 2 stay muted or turned all the way down, except when the microphone is actually operating. Next down, we have that same spot where I talked about the turning on the power. It has some panel lights on it that are controlled by this dimmer switch over here. Not really much help. This is a switched outlet, meaning that if you plug in your laptop computer or notebook computer there, it's dependent on this switch being on to get power from it. Down here we have microphone storage. The microphones should be put in there when not in use. And at the bottom, no user serviceable items. This top amplifier is the main amplifier that drives the speakers for the house that are mounted on the columns. The bottom amplifier, currently not in service, will be used to drive monitors. Again, no user serviceable things there. Whatever settings are on these amplifiers should be left, and they should not be turned off, as they are controlled by the main switch. Now on the controlling audio here, this system in particular we have a couple of things to be aware of. This main button is lit up, then the knob is controlling the main output, and it's always running pretty high there. It should be up there close to the top, maybe a couple of bars off of the top. That is your main level, as long as that button is lit. If one of these other buttons is lit, when you press it, you are now controlling that channel only and not the main. And this is what you want to adjust. You don't want to be adjusting the main because that affects all channels, and off channels may not need to be affected at the same time. Make your incremental adjustments on each channel. It's lit up, the knob is controlling that channel. As it times out, the light goes away, you're no longer adjusting that channel. Channels 1, as I mentioned, the Sunday School wireless or handheld. Channel 2 will be the pastor. Channel 3 is typically a wired mic, and so on. There are a list of channels on the instruction card inside the cabinet door. For mixing monitors, this is more advanced, more for just media personnel. There is an app that can be used, and the media team members know how to use that app on their device to control this mixer with much more detail and finesse than what's possible with the limited controls here. However, local monitor mixes can be controlled by switching here. You see that it's not any longer controlling the main, but it's controlling the auxiliary 1 mix, which will be more than likely stage monitors. So you go to aux 1, the knob is now controlling the signal to that auxiliary mix. The aux 1 is lit, a channel is lit, controlling the channel to that auxiliary mix and not to the house. Now it's faded out, it's reverted back to main, and we're back to square one. Something very important that I wanted to show. First of all, this is a Bluetooth control device, and whatever tablet or phone you're controlling it with can also send the music directly to it on channels 7 and 8. You see the Bluetooth symbol there. There's more information in the media team video about how to sync with that Bluetooth. But if you are connected with a Bluetooth control device, you can also stream the music to it. In order to do that, you must not have anything plugged in at the back. There are two possible sources plugged into that. One is labeled TV audio to mixer 7-8. The other is labeled iPod source. If you can read upside down, iPod source to mixer 7 and 8. Those have to be plugged in by feel from the back. And I'll insert a photo in the video here so you can see what the back looks like. But after you've been doing this for a while, you kind of know where they are by feel. And you can find those and reconnect them by feel, like I just did. When not in use, or when you're finished with it, please turn the sources down first and then turn the system off using that same power switch. And secure the cabinet. Thanks for watching our video.